Hello and welcome, everyone. As always, I welcome you all to the aftermarket analysis session. This is the aftermarket analysis of the Indian market. Here, after the closing of Nifty and Bank Nifty, we look at what happened today in the order flow, where the buyers came in, where the sellers were active, and basically, what all happened on the footprint chart. This is exactly what we discuss here. If you are new, want to learn order flow, or want to learn how to use GoCharting properly, then you can join this daily webinar. The link for this live webinar at 5 p.m. is shared with you on GoCharting's Discord and Telegram before 5 p.m. in the evening. Also, if you are using GoCharting at that particular time, you can access the webinar link from the top right corner as well. In any case, if you are unable to join this webinar, the recording of this webinar is uploaded on all GoCharting YouTube channels in that particular language, so you can access it from there as well. I have posted all the valuable GoCharting links here in the message section. Okay, you all can access them. Now, let's have a look at Nifty. Before moving to order flow, let's quickly check the volume profile to see what yesterday's volume profile was indicating to us. Okay. Okay. So, yesterday there was an up move in the market and then a down. Okay, meaning there was quite a lot of movement, both on the upside and the downside. From that movement, this was the most significant volume node that emerged. We had marked this. Since the volume node was quite large, we divided it into two parts, value area high and value area low. If it had gone to the upside, there was a volume node here from yesterday itself. If it had gone to the downside, the market had been sideways here for the past 3 or 4 days, so the value area low from that period was this level. In any case, if this also breaks, there was a volume node here from the previous session as well, so these were some confirmations from the volume profile. Okay, now based on these same volume profile confirmations, let's see how the footprint worked. Before reading the footprint properly, we should know what delta is. Because with the help of delta, we are going to read the footprint here, and every day we explain what delta is. If you still haven't understood, you can go and watch it on the GoCharting YouTube channel. If you don't understand any topic related to order flow, just go to the GoCharting channel. Just search for the name of that topic and you will easily find 4 or 5 videos. Okay, so for example, the first candle formed is quite a big candle. Today's first candle, okay. These are the footprints of this candle. On the right side, we have buyers. On the left side, we have sellers. So we add up all the buyers on the right side. Okay, let's assume the total here comes out to be around 1 lakh. We are just assuming any value here so that it's easier to understand what delta is, and we've added up all the sellers on the left side. Okay, let's say the value here comes out to 2,85,000. These are the sellers. So, if we take the difference between the two, how much is it? 1,85,000, and on which side is the difference? Meaning, who is more? Sellers are more, so the same delta value is shown to us here. Okay, 1,85,000 means you just add 3 zeros. It's simple, and it's on the negative side. It means sellers are more, and whenever sellers are more, we call that delta a negative delta. Simply put, if sellers are more, it's a negative delta. Okay, so this is a negative delta. Now look at this. A green candle has formed, but here it's not negative. This time, you see, there is no negative sign. So this means it's a positive delta. This time, buyers are more here as compared to sellers. The same formula will apply here as well. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Some candles are looking quite heavy to us. They seem to have a pretty heavy delta. Like this candle, this one, and there are some candles which seem to have a very low delta. Now, let's talk about both negative and positive together. Like this candle happened, then this one, and this one. By this candle, I mean there are some candles whose delta is very high. High means around 1 lakh, around 50,000, around 2 lakhs, and there are some candles whose delta is only around 1700, 1500, 975, and 1400. So, the candles with heavy delta have seen heavy buying and selling, and the candles with very low delta have seen very little buying and selling. So, the candles with a very heavy delta have the potential to move the market, and those are actually the candles that move the market. Okay. Okay, so what will we do here? We will read the footprint of only those candles. The candles which have a heavy delta, we will mark those zones. How? Like take the first candle for example. What is the delta indicating? There are a lot of sellers. We have jumped onto the footprint in this candle. Which side is the seller's side? Left hand side. Okay. Now, on the left hand side, we will see which spot had the highest number of sellers. Quickly going through the seller's side, what we found is that this is the point where the maximum selling happened, and this is the point where the second highest selling took place. So what we will do here is, we will mark these 2 points. Almost everywhere here is a major selling zone, so let's mark it with red. And one more thing, in the first candle, what usually happens is, every day, there is either very heavy selling or very heavy buying, meaning more buying, more selling. If this happens every day in the first candle, then the better option is that if there is similar buying or selling in the second candle as well, we can say that the volume for that day in the first candle will not be that high, meaning the volume of the first candle is usually high. The rest of the candles don't usually have such high volume. But if there is selling in the second candle as well, if selling is coming in the second candle too, then it clearly means that the volume of the second candle is the real volume. Real volume means that this shows the potential present in the market. This candle more or less makes it clear where the resistance and support zones will be. What happened in the second candle? Here too, it is showing heavy selling. Around 1,70,000, around 1,70,000. Now we will jump to the seller's side and look at the place where the maximum selling happened. What we can see here is that firstly, there was selling of 78k, then another big selling of 52k, and the third selling was of 44k. Now, just look at this from the seller's side. Check out that place, I mean look at that order where the maximum selling happened. What is there at this spot? 78. Now, look at the biggest orders around this level. 52 and 44. There is selling everywhere, but these 3 spots are where the highest selling has happened. Okay, so let's mark this selling zone as well. This one also falls within the same area. Okay, now what happened in the next candle? The next candle went from here to here. That means it broke this selling zone. So what will we do here? We will delete this selling zone. Basically, what are we actually doing here? We are marking the buying and selling zones, and whichever buying or selling zones are getting broken. That means if the market moved from this selling zone to here, we deleted it because now this order is not that useful anymore. The market did not properly respect it. This one is still left, and this one is also still left. Okay, the next candle shows decent selling, but the most selling was in the first 2 candles. The fourth candle again shows heavy selling, and which is the zone with the most selling? This zone has the most. See here, this order is standing out separately. There is selling of around 1 lakh, but the next candle broke the selling zone. So, what has happened so far here is that selling started from the first candle and continued till the fourth candle. Meanwhile, the first selling zone was this, the second selling zone was this, the third selling zone was this, the fourth selling zone was this. The third and fourth selling zones were broken in the very next candle itself, so we deleted them. Now, which selling zones are left? Let's look at the first and second ones now. Where does the market get stuck during the pullback? There was simply no scenario for buying today. There isn't any such buying in any candle that we can say, yes, there was selling happening and now so much buying has come in that the trend will change. Yeah. A pullback was taken here. A pullback came here. A pullback came here. Meaning, the second selling zone, where inside the first candle there was heavy selling, and inside the second candle also, there was a third big selling here. The market tapped there and took a rejection. It means this is the zone, the selling zone, which is still going to work somewhere or the other. The market again got stuck here. This very zone held pin to pin, and there was a downside movement. Again, the same zone held pin to pin, and again, there was a downside. Okay. Another candle appeared at 11:35, in which there was significant selling. Look at this, a delta of 71K, and which were its biggest selling zones. See here, there was selling of 59K. Just look at this. But the special thing was that the very next candle broke that selling zone. What we should do here is, whether there is any selling or buying, we should mark it and wait for the pullback. Okay, if it holds at the pullback, then it's a good confirmation. But the next candle also broke this selling zone. So till now, we are left with only two selling zones. Okay, there was another selling. Again, there was selling inside this candle. Okay. You can say that after the selling that happened in the first four candles, the second biggest selling has happened here. A significant negative delta, sellers have jumped in. Where has the most selling activity taken place? 62K and 43K is also standing out separately. The market remained stuck in that same zone, neither going up nor down. What do we see here daily? That selling has come in, this is happening, then here we see something about shorts, but it remained stuck around that same zone. It continued, again it continued. Another selling king. Another selling king. Even this selling broke towards the upside. Another selling happened inside this candle, which are the selling zones. Look at this, right? It went down once, but during the pullback, it failed right there. Right there, the pullback was broken with strong buying, and the 220 to 40 candle is where we saw some buying throughout the entire day today. So what actually happened here, boss, is that all this selling, like the selling at 12:45, okay, the selling at 11:35, and this selling at 12:15 to 15, these selling zones of these candles have been respected that much. We can predict this selling in such a way that if you have built a short position from somewhere around here, then this selling was that confirmation that yes, sellers are still active here. You can stay long, meaning you can hold on to your trade well if you are short from there. There is no interest from any buyer. Whoever is there, somewhere or the other, it's only the sellers coming in. The price is moving because of selling. The price is moving because of selling. Okay, this was that selling. In the 220-40 minute candle, there was quite a bit of buying. Okay, what were the buying zones of this candle? If we look, there is a positive delta of 107K. If we go to the buyer's side, there is buying of 68K, 44K, and 42K. We had a slight confirmation here that the selling was absorbed and this time aggressive buyers have entered. Even in the previous candle, there was selling. The selling zones were being broken. But when selling came in this candle, the selling zone was broken, but there were no aggressive buyers visible anywhere. What happened here? The selling was absorbed. This time, aggressive buyers entered, okay. And there was no such resistance formed anywhere in between that the market respected, so our path was clear up to here. Meaning, if there was selling here in this candle, but the market broke this zone in the next candles, then this selling zone won't work as effectively now. So again, the path up to here is clear. There was selling here, it got broken here. So again, the path up to here is clear. A good number of buyers entered in this candle. There was a pullback. It was quite a small pullback, just tapped and again tapped the same zone. Same thing happened again, the market got stuck at the same place once more. This was today's quick analysis of Nifty. How did things happen? What happened? Where did we see buyers and sellers? Sellers in the first candle, buyers in the second and fourth candles. Where the first and second candles met up. This selling zone worked quite well on the pullback here. There were no buyers at all, not a single one. There was downside movement too, or selling happened, but that selling zone did not hold. Again, pullback, downside movement, selling, again selling happened here, and again selling happened here. But after this selling, what we saw was that whenever the price broke upwards, we saw quite a few aggressive buyers here. There was a pullback, and this was today's quick analysis video on Nifty. Now, whatever doubts you all have, please let me know. Unmute yourself and ask, please.